Welcome back to Go Big and Go Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Maggie. I'm the homeschooling mama of 10, and we've been homeschooling for 18 years. Now, of those 10 children, my oldest 3 have moved out, and I don't get to see them very often. And it was a delight yesterday to get to hang out with my older 3 daughters. Not all at once, because nobody can manage that with their schedule. And my scrumptious, delicious little grandbaby, Jack. I wish I had gotten video. I feel silly, but we were crafting, y'all. We were crafting. I really do try hard to keep it organized and neat, but I failed yesterday because we were crafting. And I've had to learn over the years that you just got to embrace the mess sometimes, set aside some school for a day, and hope for the best, creating memories, creating beautiful things together. Evidently, we are not as original as we thought, and we have joined on a nationwide, worldwide bandwagon of creating lovely crafts out of dried orange slices. They are so beautiful, aren't they? We're so pleased with how these things turned out, and I would love to see your pictures if you are on this bandwagon also. I can't get enough of them. We've made lots of things, and I plan on making some more. I wish I'd gotten some video on how we created them, but it's okay. Let me tell you how you do it. Easy, easy, easy. First, you have a baby. You buy $500,000 worth of craft supplies, and when that child has grown up into an artistic adult genius, you buy a whole bunch of citrus and you send it home with her with your dehydrators, and you say, "Can you create me some dried orange slices?" And she says, "Sure, Mom, I've been wanting to do that craft." Then she brings them back, all sprayed with Mod Podge and in a neat little bag. And it's so simple. You just poke it with a hole and string it on some thread and you're good to go. Totally easy. Now, yesterday for many of you was St. Nicholas Day. I did not get around to hanging stockings. Truth be told, we've never managed to celebrate St. Nicholas Day, and for the past few years for a very good reason, because it is also the birthday of our youngest, Cece. My baby is 4. My baby is 4 years old. We made some unicorn and mermaid cookies, and she got some gifts and lots of attention. It was a good time.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
We did not get to the second project that I hoped to, and that's okay, because maybe I can manage to get some video of how we do it, and that is our faux stained glass window. We are currently that house on the street that has no Christmas decorations up, and I'm feeling kind of dark and lonely, so we're going to create a beautiful faux stained glass window today and hopefully inspire some of you to embrace the mess.
Okay, here we go. Here's how we created our faux stained glass window. We started with 5 different colors of cellophane from Hobby Lobby. It's usually in the gift wrap section. Here I have the kids cutting circles. We used just a regular Sharpie or a paint marker, I forget which. And I just have them cutting out some basic shapes to make ornaments. I had this idea that we would make ornaments in the window. You can see that the paint stuck a little, bled a little. We've got lots of imperfections. Here I've just adhered them to the window with the static electricity that the cellophane creates. They're not stuck on with anything. I did this just so I could kind of figure out the placement where I wanted the design to go. This isn't how we're going to leave it forever. And then I asked the kids if they could create the tops, like the holders of the ornaments. They had a lot of fun doing this. You can skip this step altogether. You don't have to create any kind of shape. You can just take random squares of cellophane and stick them on here with no black outlining whatsoever. We do this with Vaseline. We're not to this step yet in the picture that you see. But just so you know, if you're kind of figuring out if this is something you'd want to do, it can even be simpler than this. You can skip the outlining and skip the mess of getting marker all over your hands. If you're wondering if it cleans off, yes, it does quite easily. My husband is a glazer, so I go to him with all questions glass. And when I decided many years ago to start doing these faux stained glass windows, he assured me that just about anything will come off glass. And even better news, moms, you don't have to clean your window first to do this. It might mess up your marker a little bit to have, some residue on your window, but it doesn't really matter if that step is going to hold you up from creating something beautiful. Rest assured, you don't really have to clean your window first. So you can see the kids here are outlining with just Sharpie. This will scrape off very easily later with some denatured alcohol. Really tough spots would come off with a razor blade. Very simple. I think they did such a great job. They understood what I wanted. Okay, here's the fun part. Now you peel off your pieces and you crumple them up to give it that wavy kind of crumpled look that regular stained glass has. Little ones love doing this. And you can see me applying Vaseline to the window. Looking back on this, I did this the wrong way. I should have been using some crumpled up cellophane, which I learned later was much more effective than fingers. I've done this project 5 or 6 times. Every time I do it, I learn something new. And maybe by the time I'm an old lady with great-great-grandchildren, I will know the best, most efficient way to do this. So today, I just use my fingers and then we slap the pieces back on there. Very simple. Such a forgiving project, even if you don't do things perfectly. It really doesn't matter unless you have neighbors who like to come up 6 feet from your window to inspect your work. If you do, you've got other problems besides just arts and crafts problems. Nobody's gonna see the imperfections from far away, I promise. I like to overlap my pieces a little bit. Later I thought maybe I would go through and apply a second or even a third layer of color just to give it a little more of a vibrant look. I have not gotten around to that yet. So you can see I'm just using regular Vaseline from the dollar store. If you're wondering if that is kind of exposed to little people's fingers and if they mess with it a lot, yes, they definitely do. The worst that's gonna happen is that your little one's gonna get a little Vaseline on their fingers. So here you can see I'm just kind of smearing it all around, squishing it onto the cellophane, giving it that nice wavy rippled look. And I open it up and just put it back on the window. Now fortunately, in this room I keep a really large couch in front of this window, and there's a couple layers of curtains, which you don't really see here, kind of protecting the artwork from little investigators. So they aren't messing with it at all this year, which is really nice because in years gone past, my very elaborate, intricate designs were rearranged by curious toddlers. You can see here I'm still using my fingers. I had not yet figured out that the best method for applying the Vaseline is with a crumpled piece of cellophane. Here I'm using a paper towel and I'm filling in the entire window, all of the blank spaces. I wanted to create that entire frosted, rippled look. It gives us a little bit of extra privacy. So, unless you want your neighbors looking at your naked toddler jumping on the couch, it's best to kind of create just a little bit of a visual. I realized that last year we threw away our tree, so I had to go find a new tree. I had to go to 3 different places to find one. So I have a tree, and let me tell you, after completing our lovely stained glass window, the house is an absolute wreck. Dinner's gonna have to be something really simple. Did we do any school today? No. Oh no, that's not true. We did some math. We did math. That's great. And tonight we will do some reading aloud, as well as our Jessie tree reading. We'll probably do an Orange for Frankie. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And as I'm driving around, taking time away from the house,
getting a little stressed out about everything that I feel like I have to do. I realized probably every single one of you has been in the same boat this season or in some years past, asking yourself, is this worth it? Is this worth all the time and trouble to put together this lovely atmosphere in the home and, you know, create this joyous Christmas for the kids? There were certainly many years where I would have said no, and I was right. And this year, I'm saying yes, it's worth it. And again, I'm right, because you've just got to balance your priorities and your energy levels every year and ask yourself, is this making me an unpleasant mother to be around? Searching for just the right tree, doing all these handmade crafts, or is it bringing peace and joy to the house? Is it making me a more peaceful and joyful person? Because the kids are going to follow suit, as we all know. And for me, the answer is yes. I just want to encourage those of you moms who are feeling totally overwhelmed. If you need to simplify, do it. If you feel like doing this thing or doing that thing, baking those cookies, putting up that extra string of lights outside, that means you're going to have to find a ladder and blah, blah, blah. If all of that is wearing you down and making you stressed out and grumpy, set it aside for another year. But if you're in a place where you just don't know if it's worth the trouble, even though you really kind of want to do those things, give it a shot. You're not going to regret creating those warm memories for your children. Okay, back at it. I can't wait to get some shots of the window now that the sun has gone down. When we were working on this in the daylight, I was looking at every little imperfection, thinking about 50 different ways we could have done it better. And I just had to keep telling myself, it's a children's craft. It's a children's craft. It's okay. We're creating memories here. And now that I'm looking at it outside and the lights are on and the sun has kind of gone down, somebody's peeking out. We can't even really see the imperfections, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Okay, I promised I would tell you about the wonderful book that has become a family tradition for us, An Orange for Frankie. I made some video last night to share with you how we do this, and then a tile dropped my laptop, warping the USB port, so I was not able to put that video in for you, and that's very sad. But look, there's Groot the dog, and he's fun to watch too. We read An Orange for Frankie every year, which is a wonderful, true, heartwarming story about a little boy who had some adventures around Christmas time involving an orange. I know that's terribly vague, but you'll just have to read the story for yourself. And we accompany this book with those chocolate oranges that you whack on the bottom and they break apart into slices. So on Christmas Eve, everybody gets one of these chocolate oranges in their stocking except for one person. You'll have to read the story to find out why some poor unfortunate soul misses out on getting a chocolate orange. I just hope you'll all check it out. Here you've got some pictures of our Desi tree ornaments. We're really enjoying this year. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday. I'll check in with you later. Thanks for watching Go Big and Go Homeschool.